There's a recall effort underway in the city of Las Vegas, and we're talking with a union leader seeking the removal of Councilman Steve Seroka. Welcome to Nevada Politics Today. I'm your host, Victor Jake. Tommy White is the Laborers Local 872 Secretary-Treasurer, and he's led a number of high-profile political efforts, including working to secure funding for the Raiders Stadium. Tommy, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
Well, you guys are going after Steve Seroka. Why does he deserve to be recalled?
Well, you know, when we had the special session, he actually testified with me up in Carson City on bringing the Raiders here. And his whole platform, going all the way back to then, was economic growth, building, you know, recreating jobs, putting veterans to work. And we actually haven't seen that. And then he goes ahead and votes for an ordinance that's basically going to stop us from building in a couple of areas in town, specifically Badlands Golf Course.
And I want to talk a little bit about Badlands. You know, what he will say is, you know, look, this is an open green space. The communities come to depend on it. This is overdevelopment. Is it overdevelopment?
You know, I went out there yesterday, toured that whole golf course, and I don't believe it's open development. That golf course was never intended to always be a golf course. You can see how it's built. If you look at even with the way the homes are situated out there, it was never really built to stay that way. There's a wash that runs through there. The developer, Johan, he has a whole plan, and I would look at it as really as a beautification project. I mean, on one side of the golf course, you have condos where some people are draping their laundry over the fences, and then on the other side, directly across from those condos, you have $1 million homes. And even if you was to drive through there and look at the backs of some of those homes, you know, I mean, I live in a gated community myself, and I know who my neighbors are. I don't believe everybody in that community really knows who their neighbors are, and I don't think the HOA is actually looking at what's the best interest for all the community that's within that Queensbridge Badlands area.
And so why are you guys getting involved? You know, this has been a fight between the developer and some of those neighbors. What's your angle to recall or to try and recall a city councilman?
Well, it really all came down to the development, right? We built Tivoli Village. We built Queensbridge Towers. And I mean, going all the way back, we were part of building that golf course also. But I mean, listen, we don't want to be restricted in building. I don't think it's overdevelopment. That area up there has lost. I mean, that area really should have been like the Rodeo Drive of Las Vegas. You see a lot of stores up there. They're boarded up. They're closed down for lease. If you went back 10 years, I believe when Target Greatland opened, that was like a thriving area. You had P.F. Chang's on the corner. You had a couple of specialty shops in the strip mall there. Now they're kind of like boarded up. And it's like the people there are waiting. And so we want to build the buildings that we were supposed to be building, the high rises there. There's a hotel that was supposed to be there. There's some restaurants that are also supposed to be within that. And that's really going to beautify that area. And it's actually going to raise, you know, the price of homes.
So are you concerned about, you know, the beautification of the area, or is this, you know, you see an opportunity lost for your members in terms of jobs?
No, for us it's jobs. I mean, but you know, everybody looks at, well, it's laborers union, they just want the job. When we go into a community to build something, whether it's on a strip or it's northwest or it's on the north side of town, when our members come in and work, whether it's the laborers or the carpenters or anyone that's coming in to work on a project, the community benefits. We shop there, we eat there, we fill our cars up with gas, and really, we always have a tendency to going back when it's done because we like to show our families what we built.
Now, is this an appropriate use of the recall process? You know, you aren't accusing Seroka of being corrupt, basically just it's a policy disagreement. Is that what recalls are designed for?
Well, listen, I really think recalls are designed for, I mean, how far do you want to take really corruption, right? If you're standing on a platform and you're saying you're for this, and then all of a sudden you know, $50,000 in campaign contributions come into your campaign coffers for people that live specifically in one area, you're not really doing the job as a city councilman, right? The city councilman is supposed to protect his whole community, what's best for his whole community. not a specific group. And you can see what's going on there. He's protecting a specific group. And you can see just by the lawsuits that have gone back and forth now. Now with him, the amount of money that the city's paying in taxes, that's a fantastic reason to recall someone. He had an opportunity, and I believe he still does, has an opportunity to resolve the issue, to allow us to go in there and build what we were intended to build. And, you know, this could probably all go away. I don't see it happening because he really is like, he's locked in with a select few homeowners right now.
And how are the recall efforts going? Do you think you're going to make it?
It's going fantastic. Really, I think it's kind of better than what we expected because we have all types of groups coming forward now. We have independent voters, we have Democrat voters, we have Republican voters, and they're all seeing the same thing. You know, it's really, they're seeing he's not doing what he intended to do.
Do you plan on recalling any other elected officials? You know, one of the members of your organization ran against Tick Sager-Bloom for county commission. Is he next on the hit list?
Tick's hoping that the legislators pass a bill up there to stop that. But you know what? Marco ran a fantastic race. Tick beat him by 180-something votes. I don't think anybody believed really Marco was going to do that well. The community is still reaching out to Marco to come back. Who knows? You never know.
Are you concerned the Raiders Stadium is going to be complete next year? Obviously, that's a big project, something you've been very closely tied with.
I'm not concerned with it at all.
Are you? I mean, concerned in terms of the project ends. Is there projects in the pipeline for your members to?
Well, I mean, we have the convention center. We will be starting on the Drew, which was the Fountain Blue. Resorts World is going great, and you're going to see more projects popping up. I mean, if we went back prior to the Raiders Stadium, really there wasn't that much work. And if you look at the Raiders Stadium, it really is what put the building boom back into Las Vegas. And just the stadium alone, I mean, with the hundreds, thousands of people that are working on the stadium, that created so many more thousands of jobs all along the strip. So I believe we're still set for a few years of building.
You know, you're one of the rare unions that will endorse Republicans. Why is that? And do you think other unions should be more open to cross-party endorsements?
I think other unions want to. We just believe in a balance. I mean, I have 50% of my members are Democrat, 50% of my members are Republican, and I've always saw it in their faces when we would talk about who we were going to endorse. And we never want to go on the opposite side of what our members want. So, primaries, we let the members know who we would like. We like politicians that supports growth. We like politicians that support jobs. And you don't always have that on both sides. I mean, we've learned that in a special session. You didn't have all the Democrats supporting the jobs, and you had more Republicans supporting the jobs, right? And look where it's got us today. So with us supporting both Democrats and Republicans, we look at us as like a nonpartisan union. And we just want a balance, and you need a balance. You know,
President Trump has talked about being the jobs president. The unemployment rate has reached record lows. Will you guys endorse him in 2020?
No, I don't think so. I mean, listen, he's done a few things right. I wish he would stay off of social media. He can't run the country like he ran. Like he runs Trump Towers, right? Or he ran his real estate business. That's not the way you run this country. I think he probably could have done a little bit better with the public. But then again, you have, and we saw it in our own local, you have people that voted for Trump because they didn't want the normal politician, right? And now we have Trump, who's not the normal politician, but he has his hands in so many other things at the same time.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there. Tommy, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Remember, if it involves Nevada politics, we're talking about it right here on Nevada Politics Today. I'll see you next week.